I'm Cody Marco. So for a collaborative report for commuter parking at Northern Illinois University, Alex Larson was Phase 1 manager, I was Phase 2 manager, Rob Locke was Phase 3 manager, Gavin Wade was Phase 4 manager, and Tyson Dang was the researcher. So for our proposal, I had originally come up with the proposal as I'm a commuter at NIU. I drive an hour every day and I find it really hard for parking sometimes. So I had the idea that, we could have a really strong argument here. We could really make um, a difference here of like, how can we change it at NIU? So I had come up with the original idea that lot expansion and reworking the current lots would be a great idea. So we wanted to expand on that a little bit more. When we made our group proposal, we based it a lot off mine. We revamped mine, and we wanted to add in more ideas, which later would come into the research project. So we originally just put those as our ideas, um, but we did end up finding smart parking later and different things that would definitely make a big difference. We wanted to find, how can expenses be paid for, or different ways that we can get through this. So we really set ourselves up good originally. And I felt it was important that I had, created that good one, then we could just expand on it to not have to, not have to come up with an idea from scratch, but we could just expand on a current one, and the group member ideas really came together well. As for primary research, so with primary research, we first did lot observations, which I thought, or I had originally kind of proposed of that'd be a really good idea just because, like being able to look at the open spots, and we originally wanted to do, how many spots there were total compared to open spots. That's a lot. So I had reached out to NIU Parking Services, and they never got back to me about the amount. I even called them, and they said they would get it to me. They didn't. So we made the best out of it. We did good research, and we ended up making a really good presentation with the open spots. So I felt that, the overall of that primary research aspect was really good. We did it from busy times, so 9 to 12. I was the one who picked up a lot of slack on that just because I was a commuter. So I think out of the 6 parking lots, I did 4 of them, and that was 2 times each. So total of, 8 times doing a lot of observation, which was a lot of walking around. I took a lot of pictures as well. And, I definitely asked my group to kind of be in there a little bit more, and they some of them were really busy and stuff, and weren't able to pick up that slack. So I ended up doing a lot of observations, which I was happy with them. I took some time before my classes just to get it done and knock it out as efficiently as I could. So we did open commuter to staff spots, which was a really good idea. So that turned out really good. The next primary research was our surveys. So surveys were a collective idea as our group came up with. I think Rob Locke made that survey. So I decided to put it in the commuter lounge just because I thought that'd be a really good idea. I know, I spread it to word of mouth to a couple people. Gavin also spread it to a couple people as well. And then we just kind of walked around and, got it out there. I tried to get it displayed in Home Student Center. They would not allow me to, just because they said it had to be an organization to do that. So, that kind of put a little stop in things, but it ended up turning out good. We had originally aimed for 25 people. We got 40. So I felt that was a really good thing. And we decided to make graphs out of both of these. So I made the pie charts for the surveys, and these just kind of showed the students' responses, how they felt, and it gave a really good collective idea because everyone, it was straight in front of you. You could see it visually. As for the graphs for the lot observations, those were also really good because those, I think either Alex or Rob made those, and those just gave a visual as well of this is how many staff have, how many community have, and how many it should be. So next we're on to secondary research. For secondary research, we all contributed really well. We got everything done on time. So for secondary research, it was really cool to see all the different ideas. I personally had one about Northern Star about the engineering lot, which was important just to see how people felt about that. I had one about my NIU, which was one of our most important ones, I feel, just because it was on our presentation that, there's a 15-to-1 student to staff ratio, and there's about 70% commuters at NIU. So that shows how important our idea is. I also did one on the encyclopedia of why commuters are important. What challenges they face, which I felt is a really good one, just to see, to make a valid argument. And then as well as what they did in some like city colleges, and how they directed the flow of traffic, how they, worked with pedestrians, and just made an overall better parking situation. So I feel like all of that came together really well. We made a good presentation out of that. So, and then for our presentation itself, that all turned out really good. I definitely kind of picked up the lead role on that. I went through and I did the whole layout, because our layout was kind of confusing at first, so I revamped everything. I know that Rob did a good job on the secondary research, putting that down. Alex worked on phase 1. I worked a lot on my stuff for phase 2. And then Gavin did an overall, he went through and kind of helped with some conclusion and stuff. Someone mentioned the idea of the smart parking. I instantly said, we should put that in. That is a really good idea. And I think that was Alex that had that idea. So, yeah, overall our presentation went really well. For challenges, I feel that, one of the things, again, was the slack that was being left sometimes. I just, pushed through and picked up some of that, which, ends up being a good skill. It'll help me a lot for engineering, of making presentations and doing research. Besides that, I felt our group did really good with communication and everything. I feel like we didn't have that many challenges besides the ones I had mentioned throughout, trying to put up posters and different things, or trying to put up our QR code and stuff, but we overall, overcame that, and we got even more than we expected for our survey. I felt it was really rewarding the skills that I can use from this, as well as for our showcase. I feel that, or for the university showcase, I felt that was really rewarding, like you coming up to us and talking about who we were just talking to. Each of the members' greatest strengths, I feel that, I did really well with, picking up that lead role a lot of times. I went through and had a lot of ideas and helped with a lot of observations, a lot, and different things in the proposal presentation. As for Alex, he was really good support. He was kind of, whenever I needed him there, like for things, he would always instantly help. He helped me make the poster for the university showcase when everyone else kind of just, didn't really help with that. He showed up at the university showcase even though he had, a lab, he rushed to get there after the lab, and so he really helped our group with a lot of ways, and presentation and everything. As for Rob, he did really good with the secondary research and the presentation. He really, showed up there, and he as well did, he did some of the lot observations as well, which was really nice. Gavin took the lead role on the lot observations for the parking garage, which, helped a lot, and he had had the idea for graphs for those, originally. I think he might have put them in there, and then Alex or Rob finished them, but he definitely picked the role on that. He helped kind of set the presentation up as well, and kind of, keep communication together. Tyson, he did a really good job as well. He went through and asked, where do I need help? And he went through and he did his part. He helped a lot at the University Showcase. He had really good ideas, even about, that you don't want a full lot all the time, which was a really good idea. You want about 80% because it also creates congestion. So he really picked that in there. So yeah, overall, Gavin, Rob, Alex, and Tyson all did their parts, I feel. What was I surprised most about this project? I was surprised. I was really surprised by University Showcase, honestly. I was surprised with how good that turned out in our presentation, of like the way we were able to answer questions. That we all had that research in our bookcase of, this is what happened and this is where we can go from here. So I feel that really, really showed up well, that it was surprising that we did amazing with that. What did I learn? So I learned how to work with a group better. I feel, sometimes I do get a little bit OCD about things, like, I like things to be perfect, and look perfect. So there were some things I had to compromise on of like, okay, do your part on that. I'm just gonna leave it alone. And you always want the best, but you gotta let everyone have their ideas in there. And I feel that's something I can work on. And that it was good just to work with the group from this and see everyone's ideas. Um, my next team project, I definitely think I'd approach it in a similar way. I think I would, keep that communication there and all work together and pick up slack where needed. But I feel like communication just is really the key to it. Um, I think that's really all with our project. It turned out good, and overall very happy with it. So, thank you.